What's up, IDP Army? What's up, everyone? Thanks for hanging out in the studio for us. Doing the Sunday morning IDP live show again, as per usual. Joined by Bomber today. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Good. Just was at a wedding reception last night. Saw Josh there, kind of randomly. Was not expecting it. I saw a name tag that said Josh Hall, and I was like, "That's weird." I was like. But I didn't know that we knew the same person. So I was like, there's no way that's him. So I'm sitting there and I was facing the door of the venue, and then he comes. Just there he was.
He's pretty famous. He was on TV too.
I know. He was on the Cardinals game the other day. Big shit popping. I'm going to go ahead and get us live on TikTok as well. Fantasy football Q. And can you pull up any comments, or what do you think about this first question here from Jeremy? Nwosu or Davenport?
I like Nwosu's first week performance. And Davenport was kind of down. Didn't really have much in the box score, but I got to go Davenport, honestly. I think he still has that higher ceiling capability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nwosu didn't he have a bunch of tackles though?
Nwosu, let's look it up real quick here. I'll look it up on my computer here.
Yeah, he had a forced fumble, sack, and 7 tackles.
Nwosu. Good morning, everybody on TikTok. Welcome in. Jordan Rains, IDP Army. We're also on YouTube right now answering questions. You have any start-sit questions, DFS questions, mostly IDP, though. That's what we rock with over here. Don't be afraid to ask, because I'll answer it.
Oh. Morning, Rigaroo.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely be going Nwosu over Davenport, though. I mean, Tom Brady, not that he won't get sacked and all that, but that's still Cameron Jordan's team. You know what I mean? So Mace says Davenport, though. Mace, where you at? What's up? Good morning, Rugaru. I do like Uchiha Nwosu, though, a lot. I mean, he, like you said, he did have a good game. Didn't he win Defensive Player of the NFC?
I don't know.
I think he did this last week of the week, which I thought was kind of, but how's everybody doing on TikTok? Y'all got any questions?
Yeah, Devin White with 2 sacks.
Devin White's 2 sacks. And it's wild because, I mean, he was so cheap. You could get him so easy this year in drafts. You could get him easy off people in Dynasty this year. Easy peasy. Because everyone's
he's washed.
Yeah, he's washed. He didn't have any sacks last year. Okay,
right.
Well, he doubled his, yeah, he infinity multiplied his sack production this year, got 2. Yeah. And everybody wanted to talk about, and it's really special when and it's funny because the exact same game, all we could talk about was Micah Parsons.
Right.
But on the other side of that same game, Devin White had 2 sacks too.
Yeah.
Nobody really made a big deal about that. So just keep your eye on Devin White. He's rocking and rolling. He's got me blocked on Twitter, which is kind of hateful if you ask me. I'm a big fan. Morning, TikTokers. How y'all doing over there? I got two camis to look at. What's good? All right, we got a good question here from Ryan on YouTube. He says, start Burns or Max Crosby? Ryan Burns, Max Crosby. I'm going Crosby. There was actually a really interesting debate raging on Twitter yesterday between Brian Burns and Alex Highsmith. You gonna steam the game, bruh, or Trolley? If you ain't a bro, you a girl. I don't steam nothing. I steam my shirt sometimes. What we got here? Vikings or Eagles? Give me the Vikings. I think there's a lot of fantasy production on both those teams on both sides of the ball. But give me the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's got ice in his veins, and he's got Justin Jefferson at this point. So that's kind of where I'm headed with that one. But what do you think about this Brian Burns versus Max Crosby question?
So the Raiders are going up against...
Yeah, the Raiders get Arizona. So I like that matchup a lot.
Yeah, Kyler just doesn't pick up blitzes. We saw that last week where
somebody on TikTok said definitely Max.
Yeah.
I get Brian Burns, and everybody loves Brian Burns, but the thing with Brian Burns is he's a name, and that's what attracts people to him because they know he's supposed to be very, very good.
Yeah.
But when you just put the raw numbers up there, he is good, but for fantasy purposes, you need a guy that has a lot of snaps and you need him to score a lot of different ways. His production profile was okay, but his tackle number, he did hit over 50 this last year, but that's not even that good really in a 17-week season anymore. To really be in the upper threshold for me, you got to hit like 65 plus. And that's something that Alex Highsmith has done already. So, but that's circling back to your original question, Ryan. We're gonna go Crosby on that one.
Yeah.
Top 5 wide receiver Haram Bravender has joined on TikTok. What's up, Billy? Good morning. Jarvis Delgado says start Danielle Hunter or Brian Burns. Danielle Hunter. And I get the allure of wanting to start Brian Burns, but I'll quote you guys what I said yesterday on the tweet. Brian Burns has been in the league. He's played 54 games, 49 games, something like that. He's never been over 30 points in fantasy. He's only been over 25 points 3 times ever. Like that's just, the ceiling. What's it really going to be? So I'm going Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, I think we see that, I think we saw last week that when he's healthy, he's still a must start. I think people were hesitant going into the season to start Danielle Hunter because of all the injuries and stuff like that. But if he's good to go, he's still a dominant player. So
agreed. All right, let's see what else we got over here on the OUs
some
and
more
the
YouTube questions in here.
We got Wambly, pick 2, full point PPR. Claypool, Jacoby Myers, James Robinson, and Darnell Mooney. Pick 2. James Robinson's definitely going in my lineup. And then, honestly, I play Claypool. I know people love Darnell Mooney, but
yeah, that one's a tough one for me too. I think I'm torn between those two. Jacoby Myers, you can let him ride the bench until you absolutely need him during a bye week or whatever. But it would be a coin flip for me for Claypool and Darnell Mooney, and I had to make that call actually in a league of mine. Let's see what I did. I put in Mooney
over Claypool.
But my thought process on that was that that week 1 is not an accurate example of what Mooney can do because they were playing in a monsoon. And so I just think that we're going to see a lot more action out of that. And then Claypool, they've just got a lot of mouths to feed there between Deontay Johnson and Freiermuth, and even Najee Harris takes away some of the targets too in the run game. So I'd honestly lean Mooney on that one.
All right. Well, we're both in on Robinson, and then it's your pick between Mooney or Claypool. Sounds like, my guy.
Flip a coin.
Great question.
I've had to do that.
DeLandon05 on YouTube says, I have Crosby in over Danielle Hunter and Rousseau. I don't hate that, honestly. Yeah. I like Danielle Hunter. I don't like the idea of him being on my bench, but I don't hate who you have in over him. So Adam on YouTube says, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore. I need one for a wide receiver spot and one for flex. Well, I would flex Javonte Williams for sure. And then I know it'd probably feel weird to go double Denver, but I'll probably go double Denver.
Yeah. I'm not biased on that, but
I like DJ Moore, and I have a ton of DJ Moore in Dynasty, but I'm just realizing who and what DJ Moore is. And he's a guy that you love to have in Dynasty because he's always in contention to go in your lineup.
Right.
But he definitely doesn't have to go in your lineup.
Yeah, I go Sutton and Williams on that.
Yep, Sutton and Williams, double dose. And Russ, after losing, they get Houston. He'll probably have 3 or 4 touchdowns this week. Just, he's back. Russ is back, just, yeah, woo, the good stuff. All right, Jeremy Gordon says Hunter / A Walker. So I'm guessing Anthony Walker or Rodriguez in the IDP flex. I'm not going to play Anthony Walker in my flex right now. All right, we see the questions over here on the YouTube or on TikTok. We got a question: Brady or Wentz? I'm gonna go Wentz. I don't think the Bills defense is really gonna give him too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
And on this flex,
I'm relying on the Washington offense a lot this week for some reason. It seems weird, but they look like they were clicking, at least against subpar competition.
I have what's his name? Curtis Samuel in everywhere.
Yeah.
It's time. Finally. Only been sitting on my dynasty team for 3 years now. Finally happening. All right. Do we answer your question here? I'm going to go Hunter on this one.
I just got news that Kamara is definitely out, by the way.
Not great, Bob.
Not great.
Rougarou, how you feeling about that, my guy? He says, I guess I'll start with my biggest issue this week. Gabe Davis versus Lazar, both hurt, but I need one. Play Gabe Davis. Duh.
That ankle injury, though, that he picked up is...
Who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever.
They'll tape him up and they'll throw him in there. He'll be like one of those receivers that's always got a questionable tag.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Javier again says, pick 2, Devin Lloyd, Tracy Walker, Brian Burns. Again, it's Tracy Walker and Lloyd. I don't get why everyone's so high on Brian Burns right now.
Yeah, you want your flex, because I'm assuming this is for a flex position. So you want your flex positions in IDP to have decent tackle floors because you're looking for a consistency. You're not looking for a splash play out of those guys. So, I mean, Tracy Walker is obviously capable of it, but he's also going to have a lot of work in the tackle area as well. So he's going to be chasing down, those receivers and getting those tackles as well as making those big plays like we saw him do last week.
Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Bingo, bang. Everyone's so down on Tracy Walker. He's like under the radar, one of the best.
People have been down on him. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason everyone else is down on him. Because we're high on him.
Right.
Just like they're down on me.
And I liked Devin Lloyd. I liked his week 1 usage. It was good. It was promising. He wasn't the 3-down guy, but I think he was in the 80s, 90s.
And I'm flexing him in a couple of spots this week.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what happened. I saw enough. I liked it.
Yeah.
Tyreek says, good morning, fellas. Chin or Winfield, IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring. I moved Winfield down my rankings just a little bit this week. Not really can't really give you a good reason why. I just wanted to move Chin up a little bit. So I'm probably leaning a little more Chin than Winfield.
Especially against Danny Dimes. I think that's going to be a better opportunity there. Yeah.
All right, we're running a little behind on these questions, so let's keep rocking and rolling. Yo, what's up with IDG Michael Jordan? IDP Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's us. That's me. This Scottie Pippen? You Pippen?
I'm probably more a Rodman.
Oh dear. You don't give me a Rodman vibe. You're not that crazy.
Or what was the white dude on that team?
The white dude. I don't remember. Oh, was it Steve Kerr?
Yeah, Steve Kerr.
Duh. All right, Damon Piselli, J-Rob, Singletary, Ingram, or London flex 1. Ooh, that's a really interesting flex problem to have. There's a lot of upside there, and there's decent usage on most of those guys. I'm going to eliminate London personally. I'm probably going to lean into Singletary. I know it's a Monday night game, so you might not really want to do that, and it might be painful if Ingram goes out there and busts him up. But I still like the guy that's on a really, really good offense. That would be Singletary, the best offense of these 3 easily.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy for me personally. I would take Singletary. What about you? And that's really hard not to play J-Rob, but you can't count if they're going to split the touches. You can't count on the touchdowns. And everybody wants Travis Etienne to be something. So if he even shows you the tiniest bit of a spark, they're going to be like, "Oh, we're giving the hot hand. Look, we were right." So it's just I don't want to be a part of that if I don't absolutely have to. And if I have Singletary as an option, I'm just going to play him. I'll
And
watch. I'll be
Singletary was relied. It wasn't a split like everyone thought it was going to be. Like James Cook
James
dropped.
Cook. James
Yeah,
Cook.
he fumbled on his first carry, and then you see Zach Moss is who Zach Moss is. He's good for a couple touches, but
Yeah.
he's not the guy. So I think Singletary
Bingo.
is a good call there.
Bingo. Tyreek, PPR, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk. Give me Kirk.
Yeah.
We saw him. He just the usage at this point. We've just kind of seen it keep happening. Just I'm a believer now. Just a flat out believer. All right, we got a question here on TikTok real quick. It says pick 2: Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Jahan Dotson, or Russell Gage. I'm going Elijah Moore, and I'll probably go
Dotson?
Amari Cooper this week.
Amari Cooper? Okay.
Yeah, because he gets the Jets. So then you get both those players in that same game. So that's my answer on that one.
Yeah.
What about Tyreek here? Did you go Kirk or you go Moore?
I got Kirk. Yeah.
All right, we are in agreement there. Richard Rodriguez, what's up, my brother? Says
Rich
full
Rod.
PPR, Myles Garrett or Bosa over Micah and Roquan today. Thanks, love your channel. No
crap.
and no, never. And if it's Nick Bosa, it's like a maybe. But if it's Joey Bosa, it's never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa is one of those guys where what you hear from the NFL media and what you see in the actual box score are just different. So be it. Same thing with Myles Garrett, but I'm gonna save all that shit for the offseason. It's Micah and Roquan easily.
Yeah.
And appreciate the shout out for the channel, my guy. We love this channel too. We love doing what we do. We love everybody that's here vibing with us. Year 4, having a good damn time. The team's growing, content's getting better. I mean, we're just on the up and up. So appreciate that. All right, Derek Tickle on YouTube says, should I start Hayward and Shaq Barrett at DL? Also have Highsmith. We have 2 IDP flex positions. All right, so just as a general caveat quickly here, if you're just playing with IDP flex positions, you generally want to get linebackers into these spots, like middle linebackers, quote unquote. Some people will be like, Shaq Barrett's a linebacker. I don't have time for that right now.
I think he's saying that he's got 2 starting in the DL, and then he also has 2 flex positions that he could throw in there as well. But I agree that you want those flex positions to be like a linebacker, not an edge rushing linebacker typically, unless you have to.
See, I think it's just 2 flex spots because if Zadarius Smith is available just kind of on waivers in a 2 DL, that wouldn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So if it's just 2, I would say if I'm picking between these guys, Highsmith is definitely in there, and I probably just go Highsmith and Hayward, just double up on the Steelers. I love Shaq Barrett as much as the next guy, and he does usually score against the Saints, but it's never. I mean, it's usually like he was good enough, like you played him, but he didn't like win you a week. Like I think he had like a sack and like a pass deflection like last year or something. Like even though their line's good, he usually does enough to be worth playing, but the upside isn't there this week that I think Hayward and Highsmith have. My take. Zadarius Smith, also a free agent. I'm definitely interested in Zadarius Smith. I mean, obviously we get the it's a pretty good game for him, but I actually had him right outside my DL1s this week because Jalen Hurts is very mobile. So I do have some concerns with like him actually getting home. Like the pressures will be there, sure. I mean, he'll flush him out of the pocket all over the place, but what does that actually mean for fantasy?
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually going to be able to get it done this week. So what's up, everybody that's on the old TikTok? Appreciate you being here. We're on YouTube as well. If you want to ask any questions, hit me up. Throw us a couple of likes. Would love to answer those for you if I can. Robbie Anderson or Tony Pollard, Emilio on TikTok says, let's go. Dang, I'm going to go Anderson because he only needs one big play from him. And
yeah, Pollard's going to get a couple.
It's a revenge game for him
or whatever,
too, right?
Yeah.
No, the Browns play them. I'm sorry. That's the other. Who the Carolina play? It's the Giants. The Giants.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that sucks, Rue.
Rougarou just out here suffering because the Saints are falling apart. Lunch Table Legend, good to see you this morning. Says start 4 of these: Logan Wilson, Michael Walker, Grugier Hill, Devin Lloyd, Fred Warner. Leaning towards benching Warner. I'm 100% starting Logan Wilson, and I'm 100% starting Grugier Hill at this point. I'm probably going to play Fred Warner. I mean, you just got to. You don't have to like it. And then I'll probably go Devin Lloyd. I like Michael Walker, but I liked what I saw from Devin Lloyd last week as far as being like efficient and scoring without being like super impactful. That means there's like more to
Yeah.
come, I feel. But
I
what's your
agree
take?
with you there a little bit. I think, but you've got 4 3-down linebackers there, and that one odd man out is Devin Lloyd. He's not 100% guy. So because you got Michael Walker in there, 100%. Logan Wilson, I think, was 100%. Grige Hill, they're running 2 full-time linebackers in Houston there, and then Fred Warner. I don't think I'm ever going to sit him. He's still the guy. So I'm going to sit Devin Lloyd personally.
All right. There you have it. Harish Santam says Greg Dortch or Ashland Doolin at PPR flex. I don't know. That doesn't even sound like real NFL players.
They don't, but I think
Sounds like something you'd order at like a Mediterranean bistro. I'll take the Greg Dortch and the Ashland Doolin.
So I think Doolin's kind of getting some talking about because Pittman's out. He's a receiver for the Colts, and so I think people are like, "Oh, who's going to fill in?" I think Paris Campbell, he's healthy. He's going to get those targets, and I think Alec Pierce is going to get some targets, and then probably some tight ends, and Naheem Hines is going to get some targets. I don't think Doolin's going to be worth much, but we saw Dortch last week at least get a decent amount of targets his way, with Rondale Moore out again, and then obviously D-Hop's out, so you don't have a lot of options there, but you saw what Dortch could do last week, and it was at least serviceable in a flex position.
So you're going Dortch?
Yep.
I'm just going to side with you because I don't have any familiarity with either of these players, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to my waivers and like get them this week because I don't fuck with Michael Pittman. Yo, I have Tracy Walker and love it. Walker versus Harrison versus Antoine Winfield. Play 2. Which ones are you playing?
This is the thing with people who listen to us every week is, you got Rougarou, who's been a loyal viewer. He's going to have good players, and so it makes it difficult to pick his players when they come up. So good for you on that. I think, man, I'm leaning. Man,
I'm playing Tracy and Smith. I don't like benching Winfield. I'm obsessed with Winfield, but it's like
Harrison Smith's going to get those soak up.
I love watching Harrison Smith
on
play
Hurts
football
when he rolls
so
out.
I just like can't not have him in my lineup, and I love the Vikings, so like I have to have him in my lineup. That's just literally it's just that simple for me at this point in my life.
I think
Tracy
you're right.
Walker, I've stand for him so long I would never have him on my bench. You know what I mean? It's just like it just can't happen.
Yeah.
And Winfield, I have many more years left of standing for Winfield, so I'm very happy. I can put him on my bench. And I'll stand for him next year and the year after. After Harrison Smith, after Tracy Walker retire, I'll still be able to get high off of Antoine Winfield, so to speak. So I'm going to bench him tomorrow.
Rue, put in the comments who you are starting in your flex positions and see if we can.
Man, we're like 10 full minutes behind on comments. We got to get through this shit.
We got a lot
All
of
right,
comments.
so
All right, let's move through.
Sit, Stafford or Murray, RB, Harris, Edmonds, or James Robinson. All right, so I'm going to start Murray, even though I don't really like him. He scores a lot of fantasy points. And then at running back, I'm definitely still on Najee Harris.
Yeah, he seems like he's good to go.
All right. Next question comes in from Apostrophe. It says Fournette or Brandon Cooks. Give me Fournette.
Fournette all day.
Brendo says IDP question: Brandon Jones or Jalen Thompson? Give me Brandon Jones.
Yeah, Jalen's a little dinged up, so I think that's good.
For real, if you're not watching the IDP army, what are you doing with your IDP life? You're not.
We're still trying to figure that out.
You're not living it. What's going on with your boy Juju, Jordan? Wow. Wow. You're really going to come in here and do that to me? Okay. All right. Let's see here.
He'll be all right.
I tweeted this out yesterday, and I mean, it's just, you guys know how I am. I said, if somebody had told me 3 weeks ago that after 2 weeks of playing on the Chiefs, Juju Smith-Schuster had 0 touchdowns, I would have argued with you literally until I had no breath left in my body. and I would have been wrong. I
Yep.
don't know, man. I mean, Chiefs are winning. I'm happy about that. He'll have his games eventually. I feel like Mahomes is still kind of trying to figure out what he wants to do with this offense, who he kind of trusts, who, where he
Yeah.
wants to go with the ball. There isn't necessarily like I feel like before with Tyreek, it was almost like muscle memory. Kind of just knew like if this doesn't happen, I'd go here. And if, just kind of based on play. Now with different personnel and different situations, he's kind of reevaluating all of that. And they're still winning, which is good, but he's learning
Yeah.
like where he wants to go, when he wants to go there, and kind of who he wants to go to a certain time. So
Yeah, I think he trusts Kelsey a lot, but then I think out of the receivers that he's got there, it's basically whoever gets open.
I haven't watched when I watched the game today, I'll say this: Juju looks a little big to me. I don't know. I mean,
He does.
he
He bulked
almost
up.
looked like a tight end, kind of like he was like Julio size. He just looks like a monster out there, and I'm just like, is he not like getting enough separation? Like, what's going on? I don't know. He just wasn't getting many targets. Now, maybe that's by design too. Maybe they're literally just drawing attention away from him so they don't get him on tape. Early in the season, maybe they are running him a little less because injury. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. All I know is I started him in all my leagues this week. So I got my 3 points. I ain't mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. All right. Damon Pacelli says Ayuk, Jamal Williams, or Olave. Pick one. Give me Jamal Williams. I like him a lot this week, especially with the whole like DeAndre Swift like stuff,
Ankle
like
snap
fear
count.
or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. And then he says David Montgomery, Jeff Wilson, or Michael Carter. Pick one.
Dave Montgomery.
I'm going Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that people are kind of
I don't trust
underestimating
any
him.
Niners running back, but that's just once
That's the
bitten,
thing,
twice
though.
shy
It's
kind of
just
thing.
like, but you do. Like, if you just
Yeah.
remove all of their names and faces and you just say Niners running back one, like you do trust that person. You're
Yeah,
just not
that's true.
familiar with this one yet, so you don't
Right.
trust him. That's my takeaway. So
That's
there
the
you
most
go.
accurate take I've ever heard on that.
Yeah, just erase the face, erase the name. And you love it. We answered this already, and he asked it again. 808 deal.
Yeah, I think he just logged in as his actual thing or something.
Travis Knott, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Get to the Instagram question in just a second. We're off of TikTok now. We're on Instagram. What can you do? All right. Travis Knott says start Talanoa, Hafenga, or Kenny Moore. I'm worried Moore won't play. Yeah, definitely monitor.
I think he logged a full practice though on Friday.
I still am probably going to play Moore over Hafenga. I know he had a big game last week. Maybe he'll have another big game this week, but I'm not going to skew that 1 week, after we have multiple years of Kenny Moore being a 0.25 points per snap player, which is really, really, really good at cornerback or DB, and it's like elite at cornerback. So
yeah, he logged a full practice on Friday. I think he's good to go.
There we go. All right. Question on the Instagram is Danielle Hunter versus the Eagles or Rashawn Gary versus the Bears? I'm going Hunter. So is Bomber.
Yeah.
I'm dying right now. Ruguru says Clowney has a nice matchup versus the Jets, but darn he's Clowney. Yeah, exactly. I have Robert Quinn, Clowney, Nick Bosa, and Vita Vea. I have to play DT and 2 DE. So you have to play Vita Vea.
Yeah. And then
I'm playing Nick Bosa. I mean, I'm not against playing Clowney if you really want to mess with the matchup, but I still think Robert Quinn is the better player. I know he gets Green Bay, but isn't their line like completely screwed right now? Like hurt and all that. So that's good.
Bakhtiari or whatever is out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have receivers.
He doesn't have receiver. I mean, like there's not. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, got another question on the Instagram, but we'll answer this one real quick because we're still behind on YouTube. Haraj Dylan says IDP, Highsmith or Von Miller or Brandon Jones. I'm going Brandon Jones if it's between the three.
Yeah, just for that tackle ceiling or that tackle floor.
And he offers just as much upside.
That's hard though. I mean, any one of them could have a great game. So
Von Miller's going to play the least amount of snaps.
That's true.
So that's you'll kind of have to relegate him to that. All right, we got a question on Instagram says, drop Ayuk for Hafanga. I have Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, and A-Rob as my other receivers. No, not yet. I mean, I would be interested in knowing what your DBs are. I mean, that would make you want to consider dropping Curtis or Ayuk. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to drop Ayuk just yet, just to pick up a safety, a defensive back. No shade at him. I mean, I'm sure he's great, but
Yeah.
he still is a position that I hopefully drafted somebody that's doing pretty well at right now. Mako J37 says, as a wide receiver 2, do I do CeeDee Lamb, Bateman, or Devontae Smith? My wide receiver 1 is Justin Jefferson. That's tough. Devontae Smith didn't do anything last week.
No, he didn't.
CeeDee Lamb is in a tough situation, and Bateman, I like Bateman, but I also I don't know, Lamar. I don't trust the passing offense of. I don't really trust the Ravens at all. I trust Lamar for fantasy, kind of the way right now that but I don't really know if I trust them to be a good team
I
per
think you
se.
still got to roll out CeeDee Lamb, honestly. I think they're going to have a full week of practice with Cooper Rush, and he's still going to get targets, So I think that that's still a safe play. I mean, especially, a lot of people had CeeDee Lamb as their wide receiver 1, and they're questioning their lives right now. But you've got Justin Jefferson, and then I think CeeDee Lamb in there is going to be okay. Definitely the highest upside of all.
I think you're right, actually. Now I'm thinking about, because even though Lamb is probably, like his upside's probably not super high, it's not any lower than Bateman's or Smith's,
Right.
even with a Cooper Rush. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and even though he didn't catch anything last week, gosh dang, if they didn't throw him the ball a lot,
And then if you look back his rookie year when Dak was hurt at the end of the year, he was still putting up. He had a 25-point game and a 24-point game. So I think he's going to be all right.
Bombers got the goods. Give us lamb, baby. We'll take lamb chops for dinner.
Lamb chops, sing along.
All right. Travis Knott says start Cole Holcomb or KJH, aka Camu Grugier Hill. I have Camu Grugier Hill obnoxiously high in my rankings right now, which I actually need to probably bring him down a little bit. I still have Cole Holcomb in my at 20, I think, right now, 2021. Man, if I have to pick, I'm still going
Gun to your
Camu
head.
Grugier Hill.
Yeah. I think so too. I know they were on the field for a lot last week, and so that's why he had a lot.
But why wouldn't it keep being? They're not like they're going to be a lot better this week. So
especially with the overtime,
Yeah.
They had some extra snaps that they wouldn't have normally had, but
even without that, though, he's always been an extremely efficient tackler. So
for fantasy, yeah, absolutely.
Are we allowed to talk about efficiency at tackles yet, or is that still not allowed?
No, we absolutely are.
Okay. Mako J again comes through, says ETN or Curtis Samuel in my flex. I'm taking Curtis Samuel. Give me C money.
Yep. Screw it.
He's got a nose for the end zone.
Yeah.
He gets the ball out wide plenty. They give him the ball in the backfield. He had 4 carries this last week. Those are touches. Even if they only go a yard or two, that's more opportunities than a lot of players are going to get. And he's the kind of guy that can break one open. And like I said, he has a nose for the end zone. He's had, he found it last week. He just always seems to, and it's interesting. The thing I love about Curtis Samuel is close range. He's good, like around the line of scrimmage, but also deep. You can get him. They're not scared to target him on a 5-yard slant at the 5-yard line. Like, even though he's a smaller receiver, some teams will just, shy away from certain guys like that. They just go the big guy in the back corner, throw a fade, find the tight end. But they intentionally get the ball to Curtis Samuel around the goal line because he's got a way to get, he knows how to get in there. I guess that comes from being, playing some running back as well. Just, he's a very dynamic player. Not to say ETN isn't, but I'm taking Curtis. I know who Curtis Samuel is when he's on. I don't know who Travis Etienne is when he's on in the NFL. I don't know if he can be on in the NFL yet. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think, I was looking at the number of touches that Curtis Samuel had. He had 9 targets. And
he had plenty, and he had carries, and he's getting goal line touches. You can't. I mean, like if you just took his name away and you just said all that stuff about a receiver, I mean, he's a must start.
Yeah.
Period. The end. But because it's Curtis Samuel and we've had like 2 years of like him sitting in like the 40 range of dynasty wide receiver rankings, it's hard for us to be like, oh shit, like maybe he's a must start player this week, because he is. I say all that and he'll probably go out and do nothing. As he is. He won't do that though. He's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Trust me. I'm a professional. Trust me. I'm a limo driver. All right. Derek Tickle says, thanks for answering, guys. Very helpful. Hayward and Highsmith starting now as my 2 DL. Barrett on the bench. Yeah, that's where he belongs. Just so you know, I have TJ Edwards and Miles Jack in my 2 IDP flex spots. Perfect. Sounds like you already knew what was up.
Yeah.
So you need a little reassurance. We gave it to you. I love TJ Edwards now that I know kind of what his role is. And Miles Jack, I was actually looking at him last night and I was like, am I going to start liking Miles Jack like I like Mr. Trubisky suddenly? I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so it's just like, I got to ride for my guys. But I was just like, do I have to like Miles Jack?
I've had Miles Jack in the past.
Do I have to say
he's always been serviceable? He's been serviceable. He's gotten the tackles, and he's been reliable. He's old, dependable.
He is. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, he's been around for a long time now at this point. Derek Tickle says, my 3 starting LBs are Campbell, DeMario Davis, and then David Long, just for the record, using your great week 2 rankings. Thanks again. I appreciate it. My week 1 rankings in the rankings competition, they did not do too well, but you know, it's early. But
I think his lineup is a good example of being able to find value later on. Like Devondre Campbell was a top 10 linebacker, but you've got a bunch of linebackers who are just on the field, and that's always going to be good for consistent tackle numbers on your team. So I think that's a good call.
Good point. Yeah, and David Long, I'm sure you didn't have to pay up for him.
Nope. He was
Travis Knott. Good question. Should I sit Swift today? He's going to be on a snap count, shaking my head. Who are you going to play over him? Yeah. That's the most important. You know, that's always the variable that you need to consider. So I'm sure you'll tell us that, and we will weigh in with our meager thoughts. Rougarou, this league doesn't have a flex. 2 QB.
Okay.
2. Okay. So you're pretty in it. I kind of like leagues like that, where they force you to make some really tough decisions.
Does Tracy Walker, Harrison Smith, and Antoine Winfield. So none of them, I don't think, have a cornerback designation.
Oh, I think you might want to check Winfield if you're on Sleeper.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But wondering. I guess if it's CB, he's not playing on Sleeper. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
While I have you all here, I would love to just say one thing quickly. I'm sure you've seen the Sleeper has started integrating with Fantasy Pros on the side there. And Fantasy Pros, you go to their website, they've got all kinds of Sleeper links and stuff. We need to start petitioning them. We, not me. Like, don't make me do this. I mean, I could, but you know how people treat me. But you all, the consumers, the people out there, you need to be like, yo, if y'all are going to be working that closely with Sleeper, you need to integrate IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring system into the back-end infrastructure of Fantasy Pros as far as rankings, and legitimize it. Because if you're going to make that platform your go-to place that you're going to be shilling people and your whole thing's rankings and scoring and uniformity, that's awesome and that's great. We have something ready for you. Sleeper has already set it up. Just legitimize it. Let's get over this hump and let's start doing what we're really here to do, which is take IDP fantasy football to the masses and give them the tools and the content to actually be good at it, enjoy it, and have fun. Because the reality is you're already sitting there watching a full football game. Every offensive snap you watch, you are actively disengaging from the defensive stuff that's happening. Stop it. We'll help you get over it. We'll help you enjoy it. We'll add that level of engagement, entertainment, fun to it. Like I said, Fantasy Pros is already integrated with Sleeper. Sleeper's default scoring system is IDP 1, 2, 3. We need to make that symbiotic. Let's get this ball rolling, all right? So, you the people right now, get on your little phones at Fantasy Pros, at Sleeper, at everybody. Okay? Say, yo, you're integrated. Let's get this scoring pulled over and let's move the chains, shall we say. So, love you, IDP Army. Appreciate you. I look forward to going to war with y'all. We're back at it. You know, we got our next battle lines. They're drawn. Let's go get it done. All right, back to work. Drew Lannon says, I'm starting Brandon Jones after watching your rankings, although my other options are just Chin, Owens, and Hafenga. I'm still starting Brandon Jones. I love Brandon Jones. I've been on this guy forever. I mean, like he's one of the very rare, like you almost know you're going to get a big play out of him from a defensive back. And he's on a team that has so many kind of under the radar stars on defense. I mean, he caused a forced fumble that went in for a touchdown last week. Like that just doesn't happen all the time. Like special players do things like that. Just rolling back out there. Just rolling back out there. Someone else is saying CD from our earlier question.
Yeah.
Good to hear some positive feedback there. Nick Cross or Donovan Wilson. That's a toss-up. I'm probably going to avoid Nick Cross just because I don't want to have to watch. I mean, and again, this is not the most numerically inclined analysis, but I'm not going to play Nick Cross because I don't want to watch the Colts play football. I don't want to have to be concerned with that when I'm watching Red Zone, when I'm flipping through Sunday Ticket. I don't want to be like, oh, it's on. I don't, that's me. I know Donovan Wilson's not much better. I mean, the Cowboys aren't looking good, but do what you got to do. I don't want to watch. I mean, the Colts, I know Jonathan Taylor's going to get his 18 to 25 points, and that's it. That's all I need to know. Travis Knott, should I start A.J. Dillon over Swift? Ooh, okay. So that comes back to your earlier question. I probably would.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Dillon
It says
lot of work.
we just got a notification that said Swift is healthy, but I mean he's still got the ankle.
This is the same. This happens with Swift every year, and it's just like he's healthy, but he's not. He's always banged up, and it's just like we've been playing football 1 week. I mean, didn't Jamal Adams get the start last season, week 2? Like we've done this song and dance. Give me A.J. Dillon. Give me that big old hoss. Give me that big old hoss.
Sorry, I just got a quick commissioner issue I got to deal with here.
Bombers out here laying the wood. All right, Sachin Bahadari.
Bandari.
Sorry. Gabe Davis or Daryl Henderson in full PPR. Go Henderson if you have the option. Because, I mean, Gabe Davis, I was standing him earlier, but he is banged up, So there's the chance that he can go out there on the first snap and, just like, I'm not feeling it. And they just pull him out. They're like, you know what, chill. Daryl Henderson, as far as we know, is a full go. At this point, he's the guy for the Rams. Now, that could literally change like that. But right now, we know that's what we know. So operating under those pretenses, give me Henderson. Ballmer's doing work, so I won't bother him. I know he'll agree with me. Bo Jangles here says Josh Allen, Montez Sweat, Greenard, Trayvon Walker, bench 1. I'm gonna bench Greenard. The snaps were not as high as I'd hoped last week. Maybe that's because Jerry Hughes is there and they trust him more in those high leverage situations, which they're probably going to live their whole season in high leverage situations because they're the Houston Texans. But Trayvon Walker, big game last week. Montez Sweat, not a massive game, but I like him to bounce back and be a leader on this team. And then Josh Allen, I'm not taking him out. So, and I was skeptical of Trayvon Walker. I won't lie. Just because I didn't watch any college football, I didn't really know what I was looking at. But when I saw it last week, when I watched him in the preseason, he looks like a really nice. I mean, he looks the part of a legit pass rusher. Bojangles, Drew. He's saying he would also start Daryl Henderson over Gabe Davis. Again, nice to have some confirmation there from the people. Some agreement. Hawkinson, Tanyan, or Albert O. Now, this is interesting. The classic tight end question. The classic, which 2 of these tight ends do I bench that goes off for the touchdowns? My guy. Let's see here. I liked what I saw out of Tanyan last week as far as like some of the catch and run I saw. Hawkinson, I just don't love Hawkinson because he's in such a good situation where there's not really anybody else there but Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he just doesn't, there's nothing ever happens. It just never happens for him. He'll have okay weeks. But for a guy in that kind of situation, you would really, really hope that he could do more than that. But he doesn't. He just doesn't. So I'm going to eliminate Hawkinson. I saw so many tight ends coming in and out last week on Denver. I think I'm going to play Tanyan. That's where I'm at, Bo. Yoel Lewis says Chase Edmonds, Julio Jones, or Hunter Renfrow. He just says 3 names, actually. He doesn't say or anywhere. If it's one of, I'm picking Chase Edmonds. Sup, brother? What do you think about this one? If you have to pick one. You're muted. I'll unmute you. All right. I tried to unmute you.
All right, sorry. Julio's out.
Oh!
I just got that. He's out. And Godwin
Oh!
is out as well, I think.
Ooh, Julio's out.
Evans is good to go, though. So
That
fire
doesn't
up
sound
Evans
like
on
the
all
Julio Jones
cylinders.
that I know. The Julio Jones that I know. He never misses games over little nicks and bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
We talking about the same Julio here?
I mean, he's older now, so I guess so. Anyway, Renfrow
It's
didn't do
Edmonds
much.
pretty
It's
easily.
Edmonds. Yeah, it's Edmonds.
Derek Carr is like, he's treating Hunter Renfrow like his ex-girlfriend. He's like, I don't care how many times you call, I'm not picking up. Not.
He's got his new toy. He's gonna play him.
She's a dime. Bye, bitch. Sorry, that one. Bundari again says Henderson or Swift and pull PPR. I'm gonna go with the talent here. I'm gonna go Swift. Darrell Henderson is definitely replacement level running back, in my opinion. Swift is special. So even if he gets half the touches, I think he can get the same amount of points. If that makes sense.
Yep.
And there's a chance that Swift, is fine. And this is all just blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? Like, he goes out there, he looks good, he's running good, they're blocking for him really well, taking a lot of stuff out of bounds, just not taking a lot of hits. I mean, there's a world where he just murders people today. There's not really many worlds where Darrell Henderson like murders people unless he gets like 3 random touchdowns. Swift can like get 25 points without getting a touchdown. All right. Cole, YouTube. Start 1. Jeff Wilson, Mark Ingram, Paris Campbell, Michael Thomas, full PPR, season-long dynasty.
Michael Thomas.
I was going to say it's Michael Thomas or Jeff Wilson, and full PPR, I'm leaning Michael Thomas. Now, the Bucks, the cornerbacks aren't too bad. I will give you that. And Michael Thomas, I didn't watch the game last week. I only caught, 5 passes? But that doesn't mean that things won't quickly pick back up. So I'll probably go Michael Thomas there. My man Bomber is leaving us shortly, y'all. So if you have any specific Bomber questions, get them in.
I don't see any Ernest Jones in the comments, so I think we're good. I don't see any Ernest Jones questions, so I think we're good.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best linebacker in football, and I've got the charts to prove it.
Or the worst, depending on who you
or the worst. I've got the charts to prove that, too. All right, Michael Thomas. Not proved. Nothing's proven, only supported.
Right.
That's science.
All
right. I'm going Michael Thomas. I think we're in agreement there. Josh Peterson says Mike Evans or Deontay Johnson PPR. Come on. Is this for real? I understand. Here's the thing. I get it. Like, in your head, you're like, okay, Mike Evans versus the Saints. Sometimes Marshawn Lattimore gets him. But it's just like, it's still Deontay Johnson getting the ball thrown to him by Mitchell Trubisky. Like,
don't overthink it.
Don't overthink. Exactly. Don't overthink this. Like, play Mike Evans. Just play Mike Evans. Just do it.
Or both if you can. Everything's good. It's football.
Out too. I mean, Julio's out and Chris Godwin's out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Fournette and Mike Evans just wheels up. Anthony Bowster, good morning, my guy. How you doing? Yo, what's good? Bojangles sliding back through. Ramondre Stevenson or Russell Gage. I don't have either of these players on a single fantasy football team. So I don't even really know how to contextualize this concept of figuring this out.
I think with Julio and Godwin out, though, Russell Gage has probably the highest potential there.
Yeah.
I don't trust New England's offense at all.
In general, I just try to avoid New England. I mean, I play Hunter Henry sometimes on underdog. Like, that's like literally as far as my New England Patriots go. I have Kyle Duggar a couple of spots, but
IDP is a little different.
Exactly, that's way different. But
yeah,
Russell Gage, I like that. I like that play.
Not much different, but a little different.
Jonathan Renteria says Pete
Ooh.
Werner or David Long.
Ooh.
Werner did good last week. 85% of snaps is not bad. I mean, and even if he doesn't get back, even if he stays around that number, I don't hate that. And especially against Leonard Fournette, Brady, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming across the middle of this field.
Yep, I'm going Werner on that one.
I think I like Werner there too.
That's hard, but yeah, I think you're right. David Long is just kind of a whatever. Werner showed that he can be everywhere.
Yeah, and they're
time.
kind of, they want him to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna probably be our Jordan Brooks or like, Cody Barton type of player we talk about next year, as Demario Davis makes his, I think he's 35 years old this year. Still, I mean, I'm not. That's
He's
not
old.
Jade. He's a beast. I fully expect one of the oldest off-ball linebackers in football today, Demario Davis, to sack the oldest player in the NFL today. I fully anticipate that. That's going to happen. Demario Davis will sack, and that's going to be fun to watch.
And that's not outside of the realm of possibility either. Yeah. So
it'll be a fun moment too. And they'll they'll recognize what's happening too, because like that's just where they're at, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So you guys got to play IDP, so you know this stuff. And I am screaming at the people who are here playing IDP. I'm sorry. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
All right, we got 5 more minutes here. Bomber. Yeah, JP says Cody Barton, TJ Edwards, David Long, Miles Jack, Brandon Jones, pick 3. Thanks, boys. All right, well, Bomber, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. Because I was looking ahead a little bit. I was looking at some spoilers, so I'm gonna go Cody Barton, TJ Edwards, and Brandon Jones.
All right.
Because I think, Cody Barton looked like he just slotted right in.
Yeah, he
where
was
Bobby Wagner was and was just going all over.
He was trying to make a point. That's how I felt when I was watching Cody Barton. I was like, he wants people to like notice him. That's kind of the vibe I got.
And he has that kind of old school feel of like the old linebacker.
Yeah, like it doesn't even matter if I'm the last guy in this pile. I'm gonna jump in this pile somehow. Like here I come.
Max Crosby
like the play's dead and he's sprinting across the field. I'm here. Look at this effort. Yeah, that's Cody Barton.
Yeah,
I'm in on Cody Barton. I like that. My Pittsburgh bias is coming out. I'm playing Miles Jack. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's prudent or not. I'm just going to say that to you. I love you, JP. I'm sorry if this hurts you. And then, man, this next one's tough, but I really like Brandon Jones, the big play upside of just him as a defender. I know traditionally I should be going more for the linebackers, but I do trust Cody Barton and Brandon Jones enough, or Cody Barton and Miles Jack, rather, enough to hold me down to where I want to get Brandon Jones into this lineup, if that makes sense. Even though I might be sacrificing a little bit of quote unquote some floor by not having a typical prototypical linebacker in.
Yeah.
I'm accessing some ceiling that I know Brandon Jones has that, for instance, I don't know TJ Edwards has.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process there. All right, y'all, we got 2 more minutes of Bomber. So let's did you see any other questions here while you were looking ahead you want to get at? Pete Werner or David Collins? I'm gonna go Collins. I'm going. Really?
No, I don't trust David Collins. Wow. I don't trust any of the linebackers in Arizona.
He played like a bajillion snaps last week, though.
So did I just. That's just me. I don't
follow the snaps.
Always. But then the efficiency wasn't there. You had Isaiah Simmons who had 3 tackles. Like I just don't think.
How dare you speak of efficiency?
I'm going Werner. You can come
at
me.
All right.
Q Cole. You can come at me, but I'm going Werner.
Bomber's going Werner. I'm going Collins. Sorry, Cole. That's a tough one. Let's get 2 more questions in here, and then we'll bid Bomber adieu, and then I'll hang out with y'all for another, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 minutes, whatever, however long y'all need me.
There's a lot of questions. We got a lot of people. I'm glad to see it.
I know. I feel
so good.
It feels good. Sorry you gotta leave. Varum, ES says, should I start Quay Walker? No news on his injury in its Sunday night game. Other options would be JOK, Morrow, or Cunningham. I would play JOK.
Yeah.
He's I like what I've been seeing from him. Was on him a little bit last year. Didn't break out quite like we wanted, but I think that he's going to be an integral part of this defense. And he's a playmaker. So I'll go with JOK.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Cole, again, or Q Cole, should start Wentz rather than Lance because of the weather. Yeah, I'd start Lance over Wentz.
Yeah.
Lance at this point, it's like all we hear about Lance is how good he's supposed to be. That's all we ever hear. That's all we've ever seen is, well, what if he would have made that throw? It would have been really great. Or if he would have just, done this, in this game, this, I mean, at this point, he's got what, 4, 5, 6 games under his belt. I mean, he hasn't come out and just like wowed anybody, and he's been given chances to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy that costs 3 first-round picks, I mean, you should be able to wow somebody.
Right.
I mean, Justin Herbert went out his first game and almost beat the Chiefs, as a backup. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you want from a first-round quarterback, to at least be competitive. You know what I mean? Like, for 3 first-round picks, and you can't even go out there and flash. And rush all you want. That's great. At the end of the day, it's a passing league. Wentz, or as goofy as he is, he can throw the ball sometimes. So that's where I'm at. One more question, then we'll let Bomber go. Brian Burns versus the Giants, or Cam Jordan versus the Bucks?
Now, if I hear Brian Burns' name one more time, I swear to God. No.
I know, right? I'm probably going to go... Man, I don't know. That's tough. I think I'll go Cam Jordan this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, and
that Tampa Bay line is not what it used to be.
Exactly. And it's a little banged up. Tom Brady's he's not what not like, it's just,
I think both are going to have a good game, but I just can't sit Cam Jordan. He's
exactly. I love Cam Jordan. He's my dude.
Yeah.
Give me Cam.
All right. I'm going to head out here, everyone.
Good luck, Bomber. Thanks for sliding
good luck
through
this
today.
Week. Yep.
Good luck in your matchups. I'll see you in the alpha chats and all that.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
And in the Discord. If y'all want to hop in our Discord and all that, just holler at Bomber on Twitter. He will hook you up.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have any other start sit questions that we don't get to here, like hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be there at IDP_bomber. Most of you probably follow me, but if you don't, hit me up and I'll get you an answer as quickly as I can.
Bomber's one of the good ones. All right, bro.
Yep.
Later. Good luck today.
Yep. You too.
All right. So I'm going to quickly say something here about Cam Jordan. I tweeted something out today. If you subscribe to our channel, if you follow the IDP Army on Twitter, and you follow me on Twitter, and you retweet my tweet, and Cam Jordan it's a high number. If he gets 3 sacks today, but if he gets 3 sacks today, I'm going to give away an NFT. It's a Quirkling NFT. Some of you guys follow me on Twitter. I'm big in NFTs right now. They have one of their traits they have is some of their quirky or Quirklings, they wear jerseys. So I have a couple of these jersey Quirklings. They're currently, the floor price on the Quirklings with the jerseys is like $250, $300. So, I mean, if he gets the 3 sacks and you subscribe to the channel, you follow me and you follow that, you can get entered to win that, and I'll give that to somebody. Just wanted to throw that out there today. Just have a little fun, add a little skin in the game, just see what we can get going. Cam Jordan, he's in Quirkies is the parent NFT project. We both have Quirkies. We talk about NFTs sometimes. He's an NFT head. We need to get Dez up in here. All right, Oren, Bengals fan. I don't know if I'm gonna be answering Bengals fan questions. Oh my God, I'm just kidding. Start sit Eric Kendricks or Jordan Hicks. Oh, that's tough. I'm still going Kendricks over Hicks. It's really tough when 2 really, really good linebackers are on the same team playing essentially the same snaps, having very similar skill sets. We have seen Jordan Hicks be very successful all over the field, and we've seen Eric Kendricks be very successful all over the field. But I'm still going Kendricks over Hicks for this week, and my rankings reflect that. But both should probably be trying to get into your lineup. Twin Caliber UK, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Devin Lloyd or Bobby Okereke? I'm leaning Lloyd against the run and checkdowns. I understand that, but Bomber was pointing out some things earlier that I took note of, and we only have the small sample size with Lloyd, but we do only have, but he didn't play 100% snaps, so that's a variable we have to take into account. Even against the run and the checkdowns, I like Bobby Okereke. I mean, he had like 140 tackles last year. I think he was a top 15 linebacker. He's that other guy that got to play besides Darius Leonard, and Leonard being out, he's that guy now. So I'm sticking with Bobby Okereke. watching Devin Lloyd closely, though, and I'm very interested. He could have a really good game. Just want to see those snaps come up, see him be a true 3-down linebacker before I start playing him over guys that I know are going to be that. Travis Knott, start DeForest Buckner or Jeffrey Simmons. Man, that's tough. Buckner's been a little banged up. I thought it was questionable, so I'll probably go Simmons. And honestly, I'm not high enough on Simmons. I'll just say it. I've talked about him a little here and there, and he like blows up, and I'm like, oh, he won't do it again. But it's just like he just like blows up and blows up and blows up and blows up. He keeps blowing up. Jeffrey Simmons is a special player in this league. At the end of this season, we might be looking at him surpassing some of these really good interior defensive linemen in the narratives, in the grades, in the media. We'll have to see. It's going to be tough, with some of these guys that have held this position down so long. Akeem Hicks, I guess Ndamukong Suh's a little more out of the picture now, but DeForest Buckner. But to move your name past those guys, he has that kind of potential. And I'm definitely willing to start him over DeForest Buckner right now for this week. And just in general, kind of going forward. And that's not like shade on Buckner, but he really hasn't had a big sack season in a while. Tackles for loss have not been super high. I don't know if he's kind of plateaued as a player, kind of just fine with his role, whatever it is. But Jeffrey Simmons is still very hungry. And so that's why he gets multi-sack games from the interior. Period. Give me that. All right, Tanyan or Higbee. I know Higbee got a bunch of targets. Listen, y'all, I'm trying not to cuss so much, okay? Actually, somebody left a comment on the channel about a week ago, and they said, your content's really good, but you cuss too much. And I said, you're right. I do cuss too much. And thanks for calling me out on that. I'm going to work on it. So I'm working on it. So y'all help keep me accountable too. But anyway, start Tanyan or Tyler Higbee. Higbee gets a ton of targets. I just feel like they're going to try so hard to force the ball to Allen Robinson today because they didn't do that last week. And Tanyan just is like the only guy that I think, besides, the running backs, Aaron Rodgers trust. I think that bodes well for him. Didn't really come through with a big game last week. But I think when you come down to raw upside, Tanyan still has a lot more. You know what I mean? We've seen Robert Tanyan have 3 touchdown games. You know what I mean? Like that happened. So Tyler Higbee, I know, he might make a little more sense, but he's got a lot more going on around him, and he is nowhere near the top of any totem pole. Jockey John says, is Camu a start this week? Yeah, he's a great start this week. And he probably every week going forward for a while. Bateman or Mooney, full PPR. I'm not a big Mooney guy. Billy was giving me some hell for it last week. I'm not a huge Bateman guy either. Their quarterbacks they don't drop back to pass like 50 times. Like that's not happening. So it's just in full PPR, I just don't know how many targets they're going to get. Mooney is kind of the de facto leader on his team. Bateman supposedly is, but I mean, I'm so tired of trying to make Bateman more than he is, which is basically all the fantasy community's tried to do since his name came up. Man, this is tough. I'm probably going to go Mooney. Let me think about this for just a second. I really actually care about this. I'm going Mooney. Yeah, I'm going Mooney. Joe Mahalik. Full PPR. Robbie Anderson or Sutton? Sutton. Easy. And I'm a Sutton hater. And it's just like, give me Sutton. Isaiah Simmons at Las Vegas or Sam Hubbard at Dallas in the flex. Give me Simmons. I'd like Hubbard this week, especially against a backup quarterback. But, I mean, Hubbard's a volume play with like almost no upside. And in a flex spot, I don't want to play a volume play with no upside. I'd be fine playing a volume play with upside. And I think that's what Isaiah Simmons is. I don't think he's necessarily a good floor guy, but he's a volume play. He's going to get lots of snaps, and he has upside. If they do blitz him, he can be a playmaker. He's caught interceptions before. He's done things at an okayish clip. So I'll take him. And Derek Carr was a little shook up last week. It was kind of odd for him. I know he didn't look his best. He wasn't as poised as he always is, especially for me kind of coming around on him finally this last week, with the multiple turnovers and all that. I don't think that's a normal thing for him per se. But we'll have to see. The Arizona defense is not disruptive though. So I don't know. That's actually really tough. I'm still going to go Simmons here. Man, I've almost talked myself out of it. Huh. Wow. I'm going Simmons. I'm like getting goosebumps though, because it would just make sense for Sam Hubbard to kind of, in a big spot, have a big game all of a sudden. I'm just going to go Simmons though on the flex. All right, Hines or Carter. I know everybody is on Hines right now. Just remember who Nyheim Hines is. Again, this is somebody that's had him on my you guys know how I talk about Devin Singletary and how I just stand for him all the time. That used to be Nyheim Hines. That's the other guy I've had on all my dynasty benches for like 6 or 7 seasons now. I know who Nyheim Hines is. You want to start Nyheim Hines right now because someone told you to on Twitter or somebody did on Fantasy Sports Network show X. You don't really want to do that. You really don't. It could work out, but most of the times when it seems like it's going to, it just doesn't. So I'll go Michael Carter. He seemed like he was very involved last week. I mean, Michael Carter doesn't have a guy like Jonathan Taylor in front of him. Like, it's just, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not, Ryan, play Michael Carter. And if Hines goes off, I'm sorry. Kevin Williamson says flex, pick one, half point, Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, Curtis Samuel, and then Dameon Pierce. Pick one for the flex. Okay, so this is actually interesting. I'm not doing Dameon Pierce in my flex. I'm not doing Chase Edmonds in my flex. Half point PPR. I'll probably go Curtis Samuel. I really like what I saw last week with the usage. Curtis Samuel, when he plays, he needs to be in your lineup. The thing is, what we know about Curtis Samuel is you're probably not going to get a full season out of him. What if you only get 6-7 games out of this guy? Was he in your lineup last week? Probably not. Just get him in your lineup this week. You drafted him. He's there. Yeah, that's my thought. I put him in everywhere I have him where I could reasonably justify it. I put him in over DK Metcalf. Like, that's where I'm at with him. Saints D is fixing to eat. Okay, Rue, chill. Pick 2. Okay. So it went from pick 1. Oh, flex, pick 1. Now it's pick 2. Well, Curtis Samuel and Christian Kirk. Jacob Sabatula says Brady or Wentz. Weren't you on TikTok earlier? Give me Wentz. Ruguru. Pete getting the nickel snaps as well. Yeah, that's good for him. I mean, I like Pete Warner. Clint Story, Christian Wilkins, Kenny Clark, Justin Matabuki at DT. Thanks, guys. Great info. Not a big DT guy, but I do like Christian Wilkins. And Kenny Clark has a good history of being useful, but I'll probably go Christian Wilkins. I don't know who Justin Matabuki is. Sorry. I will say in DT leagues, you're always finding like names on the waiver. I picked up Grady Jarrett in 2 leagues. Who else did I pick up? Somebody else had a pretty big name just on waivers. I was kind of shocked. Deron Payne was on waivers in the league I was in. So I just don't know how valuable that position really is for fantasy. I don't know why people insist on playing it as its own position. I don't. Rougarou, thanks, Bomber. Bon chance today. Good luck. You're always dropping that French on me. Oh my gosh, I'm almost 25 minutes behind on these questions. I'm the fucking worst. I traded Parsons, Allen Robinson, and Antonio Gibson for Devontae Adams. Would you believe I have a core of Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Devontae Adams, and Tyreek Hill? That sounds amazing. That sounds like the kind of team you want to have a core of. And don't go bragging yet, though. It's only week 2. I mean, Leonard Fournette rolls an ankle, Tyreek Hill shoulder displacement, a little knee thing for Devontae Adams, and you're in here next week, you're crying. So let's stay humble. It's week 2. Pray for blessings, my brother. But that's a dope team. Good shit right there. Hey, Bomber, Werner, or Gary. Bomber would say Werner. I feel confident in that assessment. CZG_average says start 2 PPR. A-Rob, Curtis Samuel, or Darnell Mooney, I'm assuming. I'm going Curtis Samuel. I know it's scary to put A-Rob back out there, but I'm putting him back out there again this week. I'm ready to get hurt. Let's do it. I let Juju hurt me again this week. I'll let A-Rob hurt me again this week. Are we going to have a wide receiver dead zone in the future? Is that like a new trendy thing that people are going to make? And they're going to be like, look, if you drafted A-Rob and Darnell Mooney and all these mid-round receivers, your team sucked. I can't wait. JDub34, thoughts on the rookie Nick Cross and Jalen Petrie in Dynasty? I like both of them. Obviously, we're going to have to watch how they develop and how their seasons go. If they continue to get better, become leaders, things like that. I'm going to watch that development. But as far as having them on my teams, I like them. I have Petrie on a couple of teams. I think I picked up one share of Nick Cross recently. Definitely looking forward to watching those guys develop and be on my teams if they get good, or dropping them if they suck. Get out of here. All right, Trevon Diggs versus Humphrey versus Ramsey, play 2. I think Trevon Diggs is going to come out and try to make a statement. I mean, that's what he does every game, right? And Jamar Chase, yeah, look out. Trevon Diggs coming out with a big chip on his shoulder today. And, I mean, I love Joe Daddy. And I know he's got ice in his veins, but he's not scared to throw an interception. There's not that big of a difference between. No, I'm not going to say it. I won't go crazy today. Keep rolling through these questions. Appreciate y'all being here this morning. We have then Tanyan or Hill. So I'm assuming Tanyan and Taysom Hill. Man, Taysom is very, very interesting. And I would probably play Taysom Hill. Because he gets such high leverage. He gets everything. Like, the thing about Taysom Hill is he's not like a normal player, because it's not like he can throw. Like, they can put him back there and he can literally throw. So you're getting quarterback play out of him. He runs. You're getting running back play out of him. And he lines up outside, so you get tight end play out of him. Those are all great positions to play for fantasy. Okay? Like, if you get one player who could potentially be lining up at any of those 3 positions at any point in the game, and you get to play him at tight end, the spot that just saw the number 1 guy, Travis Kelce, go for 10 points, play him. Play him. Oren, again, says start or sit, pick 2, Buda Baker, Jeremy Chin, and Harrison Smith. I'm going Baker and Smith. I like Chin. I have him pretty high in my rankings this week, but at the end of the day, Harrison Smith is a playmaker. He's very dynamic, and Buda Baker, he's got a really, really, really solid floor, and he can be a playmaker at times too. And he's been developing really nice. I still like Chin a lot, but if you give me those two guys, I'm taking them over Chin. Rougarou, you should make a swear jar with like quarters and or nickels. Do something fun for the channel. That's actually not a bad idea. Do a swear jar, and then I don't know what I do with the money at the end of the swearing once it's full. Evan, YouTube, Michael Carter or Travis Etienne, half PPR. I thought we had a question like this earlier. I'm leaning Michael Carter. Joe Wiggins. Mooney is the right choice. Yeah, right. This is the guy whose mascot's a freaking dumpster rat. Mooney +1. Get out of here. Get out of here. My guy's wicked smart. Anthony Ballister. I forgot to take Mac out of my lineup. Ouch. I was going to play Highsmith over him. but now I would have to put Highsmith in my flex. Would you still play him or use an offensive player for the flex? Are you playing in a league where you can flex offense and defense? Because that's really cool. That's really cool. I love that. Would I still play him? Well, it depends on who's the offensive player I'm flexing, you know? Anthony says PS Mac and Highsmith are labeled as LBs in my league. Okay. Joe Wiggins, Jordan is killing it. Round of applause. Hold your applause. I haven't killed anything yet. All these answers are wrong. PPR, DJ Moore, Mike Evans. Give me Big Mike. What are we talking about here? Again, what is DJ Moore? He's a guy you want in Dynasty. Why? Because you can always play him and you can always bench him. You can always play him and you can always bench him. They're both good options. Mike Evans, you play Mike Evans. You don't bench Mike Evans. And God bless anyone that has ever said anything silly about Mike Evans in the fantasy world, because those receipts, that's changed the trajectory of your whole career. All right, Baby Santa, Singletary, Burkhead, or Hines, half PPR. You already know what I'm going to say. Baby Santa, Singletary. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Burkhead, worst offense in football. Okay, no, okay, argue with me. Great. Bottom 5 offense in football, objectively. And he's like 30. Okay. Nyheim Hines was irrelevant until this morning, apparently. Come on. Devin Singletary is the RB1 on the most powerful offense in the NFL, period. And they play at home, right? I mean, it's just like, and I'm sorry if I'm coming. I love you, Baby Santa. I'm just play Singletary. It's, for me, this is very easy. Maybe you have some biases. Maybe you're a big Burkhead fan, you know. Maybe you love Nyheim Hines. That's fine. I love Devin Singletary, so this is very easy for me to see the truth of the matter for myself. Jarvis and Mark Ingram, or should I wait for Gabe Davis? Man, if you have to pick, Jarvis is tough because his projections are so low right now on your fantasy apps. And I know that because I've looked at mine. And it's disheartening to see a guy who's projected very low and put him into your lineup. But he's not bad, and he's not that old. And he's got the best quarterback he's ever played with ever in his whole career. Think about that. We know and love Jarvis Landry. He's never played with a quarterback as good as Jameis Winston, period. Those are facts, okay? I really like Jarvis Landry. I really like him getting into my lineup. If the Bucs are going to be, you know, paying a lot of attention to Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry is going to eat today. And there's the revenge game narrative there too, if you want to, with Winston. There's a lot of revenge games actually today too. Do not forget, Chandler Jones goes up against Arizona today. You want to see Kyler Murray look bad? He's going to look bad today. Bad. Chandler Jones is just going to be like, boom. And it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. I can't wait till after this game. Oh, because people aren't going to know. Because it's like right after the game, people won't know if the socially acceptable thing to do is continue to defend Kyler, or are we supposed to start slowly turning the current? They won't know. So it'll be fun to figure out, like watch them in real time, figure out, are we still in for another week? Or are we going to try to spin this somehow? Or are we just like, oh, that wasn't pretty. I love the NFL. All right, Rougarou. What you do, my guy? Y'all, I'm going to do this for 5 more minutes because I literally have lineups I need to set, and I got to get my rankings tightened up so I don't fucking come in like last place in the fucking rankings competition this week. You know, we got to get those accolades, all right? For whatever reason, just winning out here in the field doesn't get it done. You got to get some accolades before people show that love. So I'm going to be putting a little more effort into the rankings going forward. Get them accolades. All right, Anthony Ballister, Wentz season, LOL. Okay, chill. Wentz season, my guy, chill. Jack Myers with the Javonte as my RB1. Should I start Breece Hall, Melvin Gordon, Damian Harris as RB2? Okay, Javonte is 1. I didn't watch any of Breece Hall last week, so I don't feel comfortable giving an assessment. What I will say is Melvin Gordon is still a very large part of this Denver offense, and they play Houston this week. If there was a week where you would be inclined to and probably prefer to play Javonte and Melvin together, this is the week to do that. Javonte has a full 3-down RB skill set. So does Javonte. They were switching off. They both looked really good. They both got goal line carries. Melvin got the first ones, fumbled, whatever. So did Javonte. He's a part of this offense. Not as big a part as Javonte, but he's still an integral part of it. They play the Texans. I like Melvin. I like Melvin this week. And I'm sure Bomber would co-sign that. He's a Denver fan. Michael Walker or Trayvon Walker. Give me Michael Walker. Give me the traditional linebacker. Joe Wiggins. How do I enter the NFT contest? Subscribe to the channel. Retweet the tweet, which is at 50 Shades of Drunk on Twitter. And follow me, and then follow the IDP Army. And then Cam Jordan has to get 3 sacks today. And if that happens, I'll send you an NFT worth $250. That's a Quirkling. He's got an NFL jersey, a QFL jersey is what they're called. So he vibes. He vibes with us. Drew, sup, bro? Saw, dude. Saw, bro. Saw. Robbie Anderson is Robbie Anderson trustworthy? No. No. OP needs a swear jar. You guys are honestly a lot better about keeping that together than I am. But it's like now that I'm trying not to, I'm actually not doing a bad job, I don't think. Drew, Daryl Henderson, DJ Moore, Cooks in full PPR. Give me Henderson still. Drem ML says, hey man, should I start David Montgomery or Kenyon Drake? Full PPR. Oh my gosh. First Kenyon Drake question. I almost made it out of here without one. Man, this is tough. I'm still sticking with David Montgomery. I'm not excited about it, but I'm not excited about Kenyon Drake. Like, does that make sense? Like, give me David Montgomery. He got so many touches last week. I know he didn't do anything with them, but there's literally almost no way he can be worse this week if he gets points-wise. If he even gets 75% of the volume he got last week, theoretically, he should score more points. So give me him. I don't trust Kenyon Drake. I don't trust Baltimore. Like I said earlier, I don't trust Baltimore. What I trust about Baltimore is I trust Lamar Jackson to get his fantasy points. Period. That's all I trust. At the end of every game this season, Lamar Jackson will have 17 plus fantasy points. That's the only thing I know about this Baltimore team. And I think anybody who says they felt like they knew more than that would be lying to you. Trade Diggs for Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Judy. Is it dynasty? I mean, if it's dynasty, that's the kind of play that is a smart play. You know what I mean? 1, you get 2 players for 1, so you're less fragile. 2, you're getting younger players for an older player. Okay, so and 3, honestly, this is probably the peak Diggs value given his age right now. What is he, 27, 28? He will go down in dynasty rankings after this year. Will he be less of a player? No. Will he probably score just as many points the following year? Yes. Doesn't matter. Perception, value, long-term, the way people project this shit out, his value can't keep going up. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jerry Jeudy can. So you get multiple things here that are in your favor. You get a less fragile team. You get 2 good players, fantasy players. I don't know if there's quite Diggs' ability yet, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, that guy got like 16 targets last week. Like, just wait until he's like, 21? Wait until Amon-Ra St. Brown gets a quarterback that's better than Jared Goff. And he's been amazing with Jared Goff. It's not hard to get a quarterback better than Jared Goff. It's going to happen. He's going to spend a lot of his career with a quarterback better than Jared Goff. I believe that. So I want to get in on the Amon-Ra St. Brown business if I can. It's going to be tough to get rid of Diggs. Your league mates will probably laugh at you. You idiot. Yeah, that's fine. Go do that deal. Joe Wiggins, dumpster rats are the vibe, man. They really are. Dawson Knox or Albert. Oh, give me Dawson. I know he hurt me last week, but I'm ready to be hurt again. Like my man Michael Scott said, I'm ready to be hurt again. Not Hines, even with Pittman out against Jacksonville. No. He's in a committee with 2 other RB and Josh Allen. Oh, you talking about Singletary? What? Did you watch the game last week? Who are you getting this information from? Because that's not true. There's another running, but there's always more than one running back on a team playing football and on the field sometimes. But it's not a committee. And if it is, Singletary is still the top of the committee. We're fine with other guys in committees. Why not Singletary? That would be my thing. And Josh Allen's good. I mean, that's good. The ceiling is elevated. That's what you want. You want a higher ceiling. More points for everybody means more points for everybody. Higher scoring games means there's more opportunities for you to bring in points. So even if the guy next to you is doing well, that does not mean that you are going to do bad. Does that make sense? Baby Santa? What's up with that name, Baby Santa? In that picture, that ain't no Baby Santa. What you got going on over there, my guy? I need some answers. Y'all going to keep me here longer than I said. Lord have mercy. Beat it down. B. Non-PPR. What does that mean? Standard? Michael Carter. Oh, my man Tyler in the building. What's up? Members jump the line. Good to see you, Ty. What's good, my guy? He says, who takes over for Jamal Adams as his replacement? Is he even replaceable with Seahawks DB? He is. Since being with the Seahawks, he has not been as much of a dynamic playmaker. Still very good for fantasy purposes, but he scores a lot more conventionally than he did with the Jets. I think a lot of his Jet success did come from Brian Bowles or Todd Bowles. And that's why I was very high on Winfield and Logan Ryan this year. Josh Jones is going to replace him. I like Josh Jones. I played him a lot last year, actually, down in Jacksonville, because he was coming in for, who was their guy that got hurt all over the place last year? I forget his name. Anyway, Josh Jones is a perfectly good replacement for him, and somebody that I honestly would probably play over many DBs because he's in a very good role, and he has shown himself worthy. So good question. Josh Jones is his name. Check him out. I actually just put him back in the index because I had him in the index and then he kind of disappeared. And I was like, well, he's kind of a replacement level guy. So sometimes with guys on the index, I'll just remove their profile if I don't necessarily know if they're going to come back and be overly relevant, just so I don't clutter it. So I had to go back, find his profile, bring it back up, and catch it all back up. But I did that earlier this week. But I mean, he's going to be relevant the next 16 weeks. You know what I mean? Go get him. Anthony Bowster again says, yes, my B, I'm late, but can you flex offense and deflexors? It is cool. The options are AJ Dillon, Sutton, Kirk, and Henderson. That's awesome. I love that you it's a true flex. There aren't limitations on IDP flex or wide receiver tight end flex. I mean, I imagine you could probably put a kicker in there. You could probably put yeah, I love that. I love that. That's interesting. What platform you playing on? But out of those players, would you say PPR or not? I'm probably going Dillon. I like Dillon. That's where I'm going here. Best offense. Not a lot of people to really get in his way. He's one of the best offensive players on his own team. I like Sutton as well. Actually, I like all these guys as kind of a flex play, but I'm going AJ Dillon just because I trust him the most out of these players personally. I kind of think that this offense is going to run through the running backs. It's going to be like the locomotion, the motor. And he has plenty of upside being on the team he's on. So listen, y'all, I'm serious. I have to stop answering all these questions. Oh my gosh, I feel like such a piece of crap. All right, speed round. Let's do this. All right, Noah Coulter says PPR flex, DK, Zeke, ETN. DK. Trey S. Morning, brother. Full PPR. Start to A-Rob, ETN, Michael Thomas, or Kareem Hunt. Full PPR. Kareem Hunt. All right. Kid Meathead. Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker. Ooh, that's tough. And I'm going to go with... Who does Detroit play this week? Okay, they played Washington. Give me Trayvon Walker. Diablo, Quincy Williams, or Nicholas Morrow. Diablo in my league is a DB. Quincy Williams. Okay, Tyler Will. Oh, what's up, Tyler? My guy. Also, Lloyd, Jacksonville, or Long at linebacker. I'm still happy with my earlier. Oh, okay, either or. Who to start? Go Long. Go Long over those two for sure. Again, Bomber brought up a good point. The snaps aren't quite there yet for Lloyd. Long, very good last year. Seems to have that role locked down. Drew, nice, good looking out, bro. Hey, I'm happy to be here, y'all. Feel free to join the Patreon. Feel free to send us a super chat. Feel free to join the membership. Y'all know what it is, all right? We out here hustling. We all want to get that good. We all want to get that money. We all want to get that strap. We all want to be able to talk that shit. I'm trying to help you do. Help me do it too. Let's do it to it. Harry Wolf, PPR, start one. Miles Sanders, Mooney, Landry, or Mark Ingram. I'm going Landry. Like I said earlier, I really like. He has the best quarterback he's ever had. I mean, like, he's got a lot of upside that's not really recognized. 100 yards last week was first week on the new team. You know what I mean? As the number 2. So, I mean, yeah, go Landry. Lloyd, Wilson, or Hicks? Wilson. Rougarou. Hey, Scott, I'm actually a Scott too. Oh, Rougarou's doxing himself. Now we're going to find you. I have Knox in my lineup, but thinking of pulling him for Taysom. You would. I don't hate it. I love Dawson Knox, but I don't hate that. And it's week 2. Like, if you want to get crazy, do it now. Get that shit out of your system. Okay. Jay Shiesty says, pick 2, Waddle, CD, or DJ Moore. Waddle. Wow. I still think I'm going CD Lamb. Even with all the weird stuff, I'm still going CD Lamb. They're going to be down. They're going to need to score. He's the only, he's going to get the targets. He'll have to come down with some of them. Smokey, Henderson, or Bateman, flex PPR. Give me Henderson. Bateman's not going to get that many targets, I don't think. Full PPR, Devontae Smith, Jamal Williams, Curtis Samuel, or Taysom. It's a flex spot. Not Devontae. Curtis. John says for PPR flex spot, Jamal Williams, Sterling Shepard, or Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds. Thanks for the advice. Last question. Is it a good trade? Is this a good trade? Connor and Diggs for Amon-Ra and Dalvin Cook. Kind of. I mean, the running backs, I don't really. What you're looking at with Connor and Dalvin Cook is guys who are going to be in your RB1 spot this year in Dynasty, and next year you're going to be like, I hate this. I hate my life. So focus on the receivers. Go after Judy. You're going to like him being on your team a lot more than Dalvin Cook in 2 years. Flex Lord Jarrett, Lord Chino, David Montgomery, Thielen, Sanders, ETN, or Patrick Freiermuth in the flex. Going with David Montgomery. Go with the touches. 2 flex spots, Chase Edmonds, or a dart throw, Christian Watkins. I don't understand what that means. 2 flex spots, Chase Edmonds, or dart throw. Oh, is this part of an earlier question? Okay. I'm suddenly very nauseous. I'm sorry. Ooh, going a little too fast. Give me Chase Edmonds. Again, if you want to gamble, this is the week to do it. But give me Chase Edmonds. Jamal or Hunt, give me Hunt. PPR, EJ Speed, Josh Jones, Chuck Clark, need for the 12 again. What's up, Tyree Jaquan? Don't know if I've seen you around here before. Appreciate you sliding through, my guy. Go with Josh Jones or Chuck Clark. EJ Speed only played like 85% of snaps something last week, so he's not the full-time guy. He is out there, did get the sack, but Josh Jones, Chuck Clark should be out there the whole time. That's where you're going to want to go. Bradley Roach, Robbie Anderson, Drake, Brandon Ayuk, pick 2, full PPR. Give me Drake London. Brandon, I don't want to mess with Lance if I don't have to, and I don't want to mess with Robbie Anderson if I don't have to. I don't even want to mess with DJ Moore. So I'm definitely not trying to be messing with Robbie Anderson. Give me Drake. Thanks for the info. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, I really do appreciate everyone that has showed up today. This is our 4th year doing this. I have a great time talking with y'all. I have a great time helping you make your decisions. I have a great time chatting with the guys, the gals, everybody. We're about to sit down and watch football. Like, we made it. Okay. Thank you so much for rocking with us, riding with us, and all that. I'm gonna keep sliding through your questions till I get to the very end here, and I gotta get my rankings shored up, y'all. Y'all gonna cost the man out here. Ben Burry says half PPR, 2 spots, flex. Duvernay, Drake, I'm assuming Kenyon, Melvin Gordon, or Darryl Mooney. Half PPR, going Melvin, and I think I will go Kenyon Drake in that scenario. Definitely not Duvernay. Harry Wolf says, got to sit Gabe Davis. So PPR start 1. Got to sit Dave Davis. Do you have to? Is it something? Do I know? Do you have information I don't have? Miles Sanders, Mooney, Landry, or Ingram. If I'm picking one, it's Landry. I think he's going to be a smash play today. Derek Tickle again says, would there be any reason to start Von Bell as one of my IDP flex spots rather than my current 2 linebackers, Miles Jack, TJ Edwards? If you were a Bengals fan, that would be a reason to do that. You know what I mean? Like, again, fantasy football is supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to add a level of engagement, another level of intricacy and an enjoyment and complexity when you watch it. If you are a Bengals fan and you're going to be watching that game and you want to see your guys do well and you want to be part of that, play Von Bell. If that's not what if he's just another guy on your team, take the linebackers. That's where I'm at. Rugaroo, IJ, I'm out. Hey, good luck, Roo. Good to see you again today, my guy. Who dat? Let's go, baby. You won't hear that often on this channel. Need to fill in 1 spot. So I'm going to scroll up to your earlier question. Yeah, go Chase Edmonds. That was your earlier question. Chase Edmonds is the play. Last one. I finally made it, y'all. Miles Sanders or Cordell Patterson. Give me Patty. Give me C-Pat. All right. Miles Sanders. I don't want to play that game. Just give me C-Pat. Let's do it to it. All right, y'all. This has been a damn good time. I love this every Sunday morning, hanging out with y'all. Thank you for showing up. Shout out to Bomber for being here. Shout out for all the great questions. Do us a favor, sign up for the Patreon, join the channel membership, leave us a super chat, use promo code IDP Army. Go play underdog with us. Tyreek Hill is going to smash today against Baltimore. I'm going to be watching that game. That's the game I'm focusing in on today. It's Miami Ravens. That's going to be fun. If Tua can go out there and beat Lamar, that's going to the narrative. This is my favorite part of the year because the narratives are forming. So these are very meaningful games. So watch them. Don't box score watch today. Don't red zone it if you don't have to. Put the games on. Pay attention. Be aware of what's happening. It'll make you better at fantasy football. 2 more questions while I'm sitting here rambling. I love y'all. I can't stop. Please explain why Quincy Williams over Diablo tomorrow. I also have Luvu. Oh, you're going to ask me to explain something now after I just ran through all that. Quincy Williams is a beast. I mean, go look at his box score for the last every time he's played. He plays tons of snaps. He's a little bit reckless out there. He does get flagged a lot, but he's a player. He's a guy that he knows his job on the field is to be a hustle player, and that's what he is. He's going to get you plenty of tackles. Diablo snaps were a little iffy, and then Morrow. I'm just not excited about that. I have Quincy Williams on some teams. Every time I've played him, I've been very happy with it. And you know, again, I don't have any numbers. I'm not pulling up a chart for you to look at this stuff, but just know that through watching and studying and like looking at all this stuff, this is where I've landed right now. Maybe it won't play out, but that's honestly Quincy Williams to me is a play here. That's how I got there. If you want to look at how they perform, go join the IDP Army Patreon. Get in there, look at the Ultimate IDP Index. You can look at their production profiles going back 5 years. You can see points per snap. You can see tackle rate. You can see impact play rate. You can see defensive play rate. You can see raw numbers as far as what they actually scored. You can get a pie chart that shows you how they scored, so you can see what percentage of their points came from certain spots. Also have bar graphs on all those things. I mean, we're giving you all the goods out here. So I look at that stuff. That's what goes into my brain, and then the words that come back out are what I made of that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Wentz or D. Henry? Give me the quarterback. Give me Wentz. Man, y'all just blow me up over here. New flex. James Robinson, Cooper Olave. Go Robinson. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Good to see you, Kid Meathead. I don't think we've been around before, but hopefully see you next week. Derek Table. Thanks, Jordan. You're the man. Hey, same to you, my guy. Good to see you. I don't think I've seen you around here before either, but we'll be here next week. You know what it is. And Chris, appreciate the advice. Happy to give it. Hopefully it works out for us all. Let's go get some dubs. Let's go get some big wins. Have fun today. Enjoy football. Enjoy it. It's only here for a short time. It'll be over before you know it. If you see me on Twitter, come through the comments. It's going to be a good day. Love you all. Peace.